Hey, what's going on, people? So breaking news this evening is that Manchester United have attempted to hijack Lyon's move for Feyenoord left-back Tyrell Malacia. The Netherlands international is expected to cost a reported 13 million quid, which represents serious value for money in this day and age for a highly promising 22-year-old. Erik had heavily scouted Malacia during his time in charge of Ajax and was expected to make a move for him should he have remained at the Johan Cruyff Arena. It appears the kid also fits into the profile of player Ten Hag is looking to bring into Man United, who have been in dire need of a modern-day fullback for the best part of a decade. Malacia is represented by HCM Sports Management, who coincidentally also have the club's premier transfer target this summer in Frankie de Jong under their wing. I wouldn't be surprised if the topic of bringing Malacia to Old Trafford was pitched while final negotiations were ongoing regarding the fee Man United would pay Barcelona for de Jong. The same agency also represents Donny van de Beek and Victor Lindelof, which clearly means there is already an existing relationship with Manchester United and should, at least in theory, ensure things move along quickly and smoothly going forward. Now, as far as Malacia's background is concerned, he was born in Rotterdam to a Curaçaoan father and Surinamese mother and joined Feyenoord's academy at the age of 9. He remained in their youth ranks for a decade before making his first team debut as an 18-year-old back in 2017. He's seen a steady rise ever since and made 136 appearances across all competitions for his boyhood club, winning the Dutch Cup and finishing runner-up in the Europa League Conference final along the way, where he was arguably Feyenoord's best player against Mourinho's Roma. Taking into account the fact that he's amassed 5 caps for Netherlands in the last few months, this move is a risky one with the World Cup looming round the corner, given Louis van Gaal has made it clear that he'll only select players who are getting game time, which is far from guaranteed at Old Trafford. That being said, the lad probably sees it as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to sign for a true giant of the game and will have ample chances to partake in major tournaments should he continue developing in the manner he currently is for the future. In terms of Malacia's style of play, the first thing to note is that he is a top-level athlete. You'll see him sprinting up and down the left flank throughout the 90 minutes, which in turn complements his all-action style perfectly. He's a highly capable one-on-one defender and has excellent recovery pace to boot, should he be caught out of position. He's comfortable engaging wingers in wide areas who find him very difficult to beat due to his acceleration as well as anticipation over short spaces. In fact, he's only been dribbled past 0.7 times per 90 minutes over the last 2 Eredivisie seasons, which is more or less unheard of for a fullback. When it comes to his reading of the game, Malacia is quite hit or miss. He's quick to recognize when to run into space and progress the ball centrally or out wide, but can often be caught in possession. While it's great that he has a last-ditch tackle in his locker, it's an area of the game he'll have to work upon and is something that will likely improve with age and experience. Going forward, the fella is extremely exciting on the eye, but still quite raw in terms of end product. He's a good progressive passer that can switch the play diagonally while also being an outlet to push his side forward from the left flank. In fact, you'll often see his ball-carrying abilities in full flow as he drives into the opposition half in possession while trying to get into areas where he can run past his marker to the byline and deliver a cross. He's capable of both whipping the ball in for forwards to head towards goal or driving it in with his laces across the 6-yard box, which causes mayhem in the penalty area and is a bloody nightmare to defend against. With 1 goal and 5 assists in 50 appearances last season, it's quite evident that his end product needs work. However, there is potential in almost every facet of his game that you'd want from a fullback, and something top-level coaches will back themselves to improve upon exponentially with time together on the training ground. Aside from how he performs in the final third, Malacia's determination and never-say-die attitude is exactly what supporters in the terraces like to see. Couple this with his stamina, which saw him ranked 6th in distance covered throughout the entire league, and you'll have someone whose enthusiasm will lift the crowd and rub off on what have been in recent times extremely lethargic teammates. Standing at 5'7", the lad will undoubtedly take some time to acclimatize to the physicality of English football. Given it'll also be the first time he's living in a foreign country, I wouldn't be surprised to see this as a year of betting in, whereby he features as a rotation option or in domestic cup games before truly being ready to fight for a starting berth in 2023. For Malacia's sake, I sincerely hope Erik Ten Hag sticks around for years to come. He's played under a whole host of managers including Giovanni van Bronckhorst, Jaap Stam, Dick Advocaat and Arne Slot in what has been a turbulent few years for Feyenoord since they won the league in 2017. Having a semblance of stability will only aid his development and might just see him becoming one of the world's best in the next half a dozen years or so. I suppose in some ways this is also a goodbye to Brandon Williams and Alex Telles. The former is looking for guaranteed first-team football while the latter is at an age where he can ill afford to be third choice. With the promise Alvaro Fernandez has shown in the academy, I'm expecting their departure sharpish, which will cover the funds used to bring in this young Dutchman. Cheers for tuning in, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If that is the case, please do give it a like. And as a Man United supporter, I'm pleased to see Feyenoord sporting director claiming this is imminent, because boy, do we need a signing through the door ASAP. I know a lot of Man United supporters have been on edge, given rivals have been strengthening early on in the window and we're the ones who need the most work. But far too often during Woodward's era were we seen as a soft touch in the market, so it only makes sense that negotiations are taking longer than usual. Especially when it comes to Barcelona, it's been a huge game of poker involving De Jong, waiting to see who blinks first, and obviously the June 1st deadline is coming up from an accounting standpoint, and thus that deal should also get over the line very, very soon. With Christian Eriksen also likely to come in once his contract expires on June 30th, we're finally starting to see some sort of direction when it comes to the shape of the squad. Getting back into the top four is going to prove to be a monumental task for Ten Hag, given the likes of Pep, Klopp, Tuchel, and Conte all have relatively settled sides. But personally speaking, at this stage, I just want to see some youthful exuberance and aesthetically pleasing football on the eye. That is all I ask for. Because I mean, fuck me, last season that lot really took the piss. They weren't trying half the fucking time. Feel free to ask any questions you have, and I hope all of you have a wonderful day. Ciao.